Good afternoon, E39 source. It is spring here in Baltimore, Maryland. The grass is getting greener. The birds are chirping in the distance. And it's time to restore your paint. So, how are you going to go about doing this? This is scary to a lot of people, and I don't blame them. It's a scary process. As you can see, my paint is very rough, and I have a lot of problems with it. I have everything from swirl marks to little hard tacky things on top of the clear to everything. It's a miserable coat of paint. And here's how you restore it. These are the products I use. I've already done the trunk lid and the rear quarter panel of this car. You're going to need dish soap. You're going to need car wash soap, whether that be Zaino or something along the lines of ZIP. Clay bar Z18 by Zaino. You're going to need Meguiar's Ultimate Compound, Zaino Z2, Zaino Z5, and Zaino Z8. These are the products you need. Now on top of this, I also highly recommend getting a rotary buffing tool. I own one. It was about $100 off Amazon, and if you're going to do a whole car or multiple cars, it is more than worth the money. So go ahead, and the first step to do this is get a small bucket of water and put some of this, highly concentrated, in with some water, and go ahead and wash the body panel that you'll be doing. Once your hood is clean, it should look very much like this. You'll have some dust left over if your towel left dust, but it will feel very rough, and it has pretty much no wax on it now. What that does is, since dish soap is so strong, it takes off all the wax, coats, and everything that are on top of the clear. What it does is it takes you straight down to the clear and prepares us to use our clay bar. So now what we need to do next is we need to use our car wash, and we need to use our clay bar. Now what you have to do is you have to keep the surface you're working on very, very wet with the soap, and then use the clay bar. What you're going to do is you're going to use a technique very much just like this. Just hold the clay bar in your hand. While the area is still very, very lubricated with the car wash, you are going to take your clay bar and just do small little movements all across with actually a good bit of pressure, probably about 10 to 20 pounds of force on the little clay bar. This will remove all contaminants from your paint, and it will make the surface very, very smooth apart from scratches. You will know when you are done with the body panel when you can go over the entire body panel and you don't feel the clay bar hanging up on any little contaminants. What I recommend is once you feel that, go over it for another minute, and then you are 100% ready to move on to the next step. When you are clay barring the car, you should be doing something along the lines of this. With it completely wet and saturated, this is starting to dry. But as you can see, you can hear it. It's rough. And where I've done it, it's perfectly smooth. So, what you want to do is you want to rub the entire thing until it's very smooth, like that. Alright, I have the entire hood clay barred now, and then wiped back off with some soapy water, and compared to the fender, it's pretty smooth. So, now it looks like hell. You can see every single scratch in it, and actually, my hood doesn't have nearly as many swirl scratches at the back of the car. This is my rotary buffer. I'm going to keep it on the slowest setting, which is 1, and I'm going to take some of my compound, go ahead, put it on top here. Now, when you put it on here, you don't need a whole lot. You need a good little bit though, so like that. And then what you are going to do is take this, go ahead, and smear it around your hood. What you want to do is you want to spread it out across your hood. It's going to look a little bit scary, but spread it out across your hood and get a nice thin layer over a section of it. Then you can start to buff. You are always going to want to keep the buffer moving. Never let it sit in one place while on. If I were to leave it in this one place, just turn it on, it would burn through the clear coat. That is your number one thing you need to be looking out for. You should not have your buffer burning through your clear coat. That will be very, very bad. Always keep it moving, and always give the clear coat time to cool down. Do not let it get too hot, ever. Once you are done with pad number 1, your hood should start to be looking pretty good. Now what you have to do is you have to move to pad number 2. That's the original pad. I'm going to go throw pad 2 on, which is a little bit finer, a little bit plusher, and a little bit softer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing, a little bit less in depth, but I'm going to do the same thing, go over the entire hood with this, and some more polishing compound. Alright, this is what it should start to look like now. Once you're done with the second polish, go ahead, grab a towel, remove all your excess compound. Now, it should start to feel really good. It should be very smooth to the touch. You should see scratches that you never saw before, but they were there. They were just under a ton of swirl marks, like you can see some of these in here. Had I gone a little bit rougher, I probably could have gotten all of those out. Now, here's the deal. Here's what I don't care about. I don't care about little marks like that, because when you step back, they're gone. It's like magic. So, now what you need to do is you need to go grab your Z2. Go ahead. Put some of this on a towel and rub it into the paint. Let it sit for about 5 minutes. Now you can go ahead, grab your Z5, and do the exact same thing. Then once you're done with that, you can go ahead, grab your Z8 Grand Finale, put a quick spritz over the hood, and dry it off. And here we are with our fully restored hood, at least to what I can do at this point. There are still a lot of stone chips in it, and a lot of scratches. Every single swirl scratch is out of the hood, as far as I can see, and the only scratches in it are deep ones. Maybe I'll make a video on trying to get these out in the future. See what I can do. If any of you know how to remove that scratch, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to learn and make tutorial videos in the future. So I'm going to try to get an angle that you can see. There we go. The phone can finally focus. I've been having problems with white balance the entire video. There you go. There's the finished product. In person, there's a little bit of dust on the hood, and there are stone chips pretty much all over it. But, as you can see, it is very, very shiny now. The swirl scratches are gone, and it is buffed. It looks very, very good, and here's how to do it if you want to do it to your own BMW or any car for that matter. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next E39 Source video.